The reason you can't let someone go is that you buried a part of yourself in them. Have you ever experienced a moment like this? A relationship is clearly over, yet you can't move on. You know the other person isn't worth it, but you still can't stop thinking about them. You've deleted all contact information, but you still secretly check their updates late at night. Others tell you to let go, that they're not worth it, and you tell yourself to move on, to turn the page. But you just can't. It's not because you don't want to let go. It's because you don't actually know what you're clinging to. You think what you can't let go of is that person. You're wrong. What you can't let go of is the part of yourself you buried in that person. Jung reveals the truth about being unable to let go. After studying countless cases of people who couldn't move on, the psychological master Carl Jung discovered a startling pattern. The more someone can't let go of a relationship, the more of themselves they lost in that relationship. What does this mean? Jung found that when we love someone deeply, we're not only loving them, we store parts of ourselves in them. You place your hopes in them. You imagine a future with them. You plan a life with them. You entrust all your expectations of goodness to that relationship. You store your sense of worth in them. If they love you, you feel worthy of love. If they acknowledge you, you feel vibrant. Their judgment becomes your sole measure of yourself. You store your life force in them. When you're with them, you feel alive. Their existence gives your life meaning and color. The problem is that when the relationship ends, those parts you stored in the other person do not automatically return to you. They are left behind, abandoned, buried. So you feel empty, incomplete, as if a piece of you is gone. You think you miss that person, but what you're actually missing is the lost part of yourself. Why time can't heal everything. Many people say time heals all wounds. That's the biggest lie, according to Jung. If you simply wait for time to pass without reclaiming those lost parts, you'll never truly heal. You'll only become numb, you'll forget, and you may seem fine on the surface, but deep inside there will always be a void. Then when you meet the next person, you'll again deposit a part of yourself in them. Lose it again, feel empty again, and be unable to let go again. That's why some people go through countless relationships, endure countless hurts, but never truly grow. They've never retrieved the parts of themselves they lost. They keep fragmenting and storing themselves in one person after another until they no longer know what their whole self looks like. Jung's own experience reclaiming lost soul fragments. Few people know that Jung himself suffered an emotional trauma that nearly broke him. After his split with Freud, he fell into a 6-year psychological crisis. This was not merely the end of a mentor-apprentice relationship. Jung found he had stored too much of himself in Freud. His academic identity, his career direction, his sense of his own value were all tightly bound to Freud. When that relationship ended, Jung felt torn apart. He wrote in his journal that he felt his soul had been shattered into fragments, scattered across every relationship he had been through. It was this painful experience that launched Jung's most important lifelong exploration: how to reclaim those lost soul fragments. He recorded the process in the Red Book, spending a full 16 years on it. The 3 steps to reclaiming soul fragments. In the Red Book, Jung describes a complete path for retrieving the lost self. The first step: take inventory of what's lost. First, be honest with yourself. In that relationship, what exactly did you put into the other person? Your sense of security, your sense of worth, your hopes, your life force, your imagination of the future. List them one by one. This process will be painful because you'll discover you have lost far more than you thought. Step 2. Sever the connection. The parts you stored in the other person are still linked to them by an invisible thread. That's why you can't stop thinking about them or checking on them. It's not because you love them. It's because a part of you is still there. You need to cut that thread on a conscious level. Tell yourself those things are yours, not theirs, and that you're going to take them back now. Step 3. Reintegrate. Put those lost parts back into your inner self one by one. Your hopes are no longer entrusted to anyone. They reside in your own life. Your value is no longer defined by anyone. You confirm it yourself. Your life force no longer depends on any relationship. It wells up from within you. When all the fragments return to you, you will be whole. You'll find you no longer miss that person, not because you've forgotten them, but because there is nothing left of you with them. You've reclaimed all of yourself. This is not an ordinary book. Jung spent 16 years handwriting and hand-illustrating this soul reconstruction diary. In this book, you will learn how to identify what you lost in each relationship, what every person you can't let go of carries of yours, how to see these things clearly, how to cut energy connections with the past, how to sever those invisible threads, how to free yourself truly, and how to reintegrate the lost fragments, how to gather the scattered pieces of yourself one by one and reassemble a whole you, how to avoid losing yourself in future relationships, how to love someone without depositing yourself in them, how to establish genuinely healthy intimacy. 2 life path patterns. Old pattern. Fall in love. Store yourself in the other person. When the relationship ends, lose a part of yourself and become empty and in pain. Meet the next person. Store yourself again. Lose yourself again. Become increasingly fragmented until you don't know who you are. New pattern. Recognize what was lost. Cut the connection. Recover the fragments. Become whole again. And from that wholeness, love without losing yourself. Building truly equal relationships. You may have been walking the first path for many years. It has given you only repeated loss and disorientation. The second path is the one Jung spent his life validating. It leads to true wholeness, freedom, and love. If you still can't let someone go, remember, what you miss is not them, it's yourself. The joy you thought you could only feel with them is actually your own joy. The security you thought only they could give you is actually your own security. The worth you thought you could only see reflected in their eyes is actually your own worth. These things were always yours. You simply misplaced them by storing them in that person. Now it's time to take them back. Not to get revenge, not to prove you can do better, but for yourself, for the fragmented, home-hungry self you left in someone else. Jung said, "What you cannot let go of is not that person, but the part of yourself you stored in them." You have wandered in the ruins of that relationship too long and wasted too much time yearning for someone undeserving. The fragments you lost have roamed in others for too long. Now it's time to bring them home. The Red Book will be your most faithful guide on this reclaiming journey. It will help you find every lost piece and teach you how to reassemble them into a whole you. He tells you that you never needed anyone to make you whole, because you were whole to begin with. If you are ready, truly ready, to stop wandering in memories and reclaim the parts of yourself you lost, to transform from a fragmented longing into a complete self, please leave the 4 characters "Soifang Othi So" in the comments. I know you are ready to begin this most important journey home. You deserve wholeness. The pieces scattered on others have been waiting for you too long. Now is the time to bring them back home.